My name is Bård Hamre and I work for Statoil as a principal trader. Today I will talk about lessons learned from EU ETS. Statoil is one of the world's largest oil producers of oil and gas with a production of around 2 million barrels of oil equivalents a day. Statoil has been subject to a Norwegian carbon tax for 25 years and in the European emission trading scheme for more than 10 years. Statoil is a strong supporter of EU ETS and carbon pricing and welcomes the new Universal Climate Agreement. Before the Kyoto Protocol was ratified and entered into force, Statoil and the Norwegian government joined partnership to invest in Prototype Carbon Fund, the very first carbon fund managed by the World Bank. This fund was a pioneer in project-based greenhouse gas emission reductions. Also, before the Kyoto Protocol was ratified, Statoil established Carbon Treasury, which was a comprehensive project looking at everything related to CO2. Emission, environment, politics, and last but not least, trading. Norway, not being part of the European Union, established in the pre-Kyoto period a mirror image of EU ETS. This Norwegian emission trading scheme had several challenges. Firstly, because it was a hybrid of a trading system, a CO2 tax system, and a cooperative industry agreement. And secondly, because it was difficult to link Norwegian system to EU ETS. In the Norwegian EU trading scheme, there were many small installations that had some surplus of allowances to sell, and Statoil, a large company with big short position. It was too cumbersome to set up master trading agreements with each of these small installations that had a few allowances to sell. The result was that Statoil traded in the EU ETS bilaterally and on the Scandinavian Electricity Exchange Nord Pool, and later at the Intercontinental Exchange to cover its compliance needs. Nord Pool was the first exchange to facilitate trading of EU allowances. Statoil was the first company to trade on Nord Pool. First EU allowances in 2005 and then secondary CERs in 2007. The Scandinavian Exchange was late in adopting extended opening hours, so the liquidity slowly went from Nord Pool to ICE and then to the bilateral market. As the market evolved, and partly due to the financial crisis in 2007 and 2008, the emissions market went from a brokered and OTC market to an exchange-traded and cleared market again. Thus the bilateral market with brokers and a lot of banks slowly disappeared. Today, the liquidity is healthy and concentrated around a few exchanges and banks, and it is possible to trade EU allowance options. Measuring and control of emissions, aggregating emission data from different business areas and reporting it, and setting up a well-functioning back and mid-office functions such as accounting, deal handling, and risk are all prerequisites for the trading function. For the front office, networking with brokers and potential counterparties, establishing master trading agreements, and becoming members of exchanges were important. Over time, Statoil has added internal controls and audits to verify correct setup and execution of emission trading. In addition, the licenses have had annual partner audits of the compliance and trading function. Statoil is mainly focusing on compliance trading, but has some internal customers related to hedging, as well as external customers. Since 1991, with the introduction of a CO2 tax in Norway, Statoil has been reporting CO2 and methane emissions to the Norwegian Environment Agency and the Norwegian Petroleum Directorate. Statoil's EU ETS emissions are reported according to the EU ETS monitoring and reporting and the audit and verification regulation. Included in these reports are detailed requirements for accuracy in measurements of fuel gas, flare gas, and diesel volumes, as well as weekly fuel gas sampling and modeling of flare gas characteristics, in order to estimate relevant CO2 factors and emission volumes. These data and working routines are verified by an independent, non-biased third party. And for Statoil, the last couple of years, these audits have been conducted by KPMG. All this is summarized in Statoil's corporate sustainability report that is released together with the annual report.